Your self-doubt is actually a gift, but you've been using it all wrong. I know that sounds insane. You've probably spent years trying to get rid of that nagging voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. But here's what I discovered after years of battling my own crippling self-doubt. The most confident people in history weren't the ones who eliminated doubt. They were the ones who learned to weaponize it. Listen, if you keep trying to fight self-doubt the way you've been taught with affirmations, positive thinking, or just believing in yourself, you're going to stay stuck in this exhausting cycle. You'll have good days where you feel unstoppable, then one criticism, one setback, one awkward social interaction completely shatters that confidence, and you're back to square one, doubting everything about yourself again. The real danger? You'll waste years, maybe decades, waiting to feel ready before you pursue what you actually want. That business idea? On hold. That relationship? You'll convince yourself you're not worthy. That career move? Too risky. And one day you'll wake up and realize you let self-doubt steal your entire life. The ancient Stoics faced this same battle. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, literally the most powerful man in the world, wrote in his private journal about his constant self-doubt. Epictetus was born a slave, the lowest social position imaginable. Seneca was exiled, stripped of everything. These men had every reason to crumble under self-doubt. But they didn't. They developed a philosophy that transformed doubt from a prison into a tool. And here at Stoic Pathway, we've spent years breaking down their wisdom into practical steps that work in the real world. Not just ancient theory, but actual techniques you can use today. Here's the truth that no motivational speaker wants to admit. Confidence isn't about feeling fearless. It's not about pumping yourself up with empty affirmations. Real, unshakable confidence comes from a completely different place, and it's something the Stoics mastered 2,000 years ago. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 Stoic lessons that will completely transform how you deal with self-doubt. These aren't vague concepts. These are actionable strategies you can implement immediately. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn that critical voice in your head from your biggest enemy into your greatest competitive advantage. And before we dive in, if you're serious about mastering Stoic philosophy and building genuine confidence, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We drop new videos every week that cut through the self-help BS and give you real, ancient wisdom that actually works. All right, let's get into it. Lesson number 1, focus only on what you can control. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I first heard this advice, I thought it was the most useless, oversimplified garbage I'd ever encountered. Just focus on what you can control. Yeah, thanks. Real groundbreaking stuff. But then I had a moment that changed everything. 3 years ago, I was preparing for the biggest presentation of my career. I had spent weeks perfecting every slide, rehearsing every word, anticipating every possible question. The night before, I couldn't sleep. My mind was racing. What if they hate it? What if I freeze up? What if someone asks a question I can't answer? What if this ruins my reputation? I showed up exhausted, anxious, barely holding it together. And you know what happened? The projector died 5 minutes into my presentation. Complete technical failure. Everything I'd obsessed over, gone. And in that moment, something clicked. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, taught a principle called the dichotomy of control. He said there are only 2 categories in life: things within your control and things outside your control. And here's the kicker: 99% of what we worry about falls into the second category. You can't control what people think of you. You can't control the outcome of your efforts. You can't control whether you get rejected, whether people like you, whether things go according to plan. But here's what you can control: your effort, your preparation, your response, your character, your decisions in this present moment. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think this lesson is about accepting defeat. Oh, well, I can't control it, so why bother? No, it's the exact opposite. When you stop wasting mental energy on things you can't control, you suddenly have massive amounts of power to focus on what you can control. Think about it. How much energy are you burning right now worrying about whether people judge you, whether you'll succeed, whether you're good enough? That energy is being stolen from you. Here's exactly how to apply this today. First, the next time self-doubt creeps in, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? Someone doesn't like you? Outside your control. How you treat them anyway? Inside your control. Worried about failing? The outcome is outside your control. Giving your absolute best effort? Inside your control. Afraid of being judged? Outside your control. Living according to your values regardless? Inside your control. Second, create what I call a control audit. Take whatever situation is causing you self-doubt right now and divide a page into 2 columns, within my control and outside my control. Let's say you're doubting yourself about starting a YouTube channel. Outside your control. Whether people subscribe, whether the algorithm favors you, whether you go viral, what the comments say. Within your control, the quality of your content, showing up consistently, improving with each video, the message you want to share. Think about athletes at the Olympics. They've trained their entire lives for one moment. Do you think the gold medalists spend their energy worrying about the judges' scores? About what the other competitors are doing? No. They focus entirely on executing their performance. That's it. That's all they can control. And here's what happens when you actually live this way. Your self-doubt starts to dissolve. Not because you've magically become more confident, but because you've stopped feeding it. Self-doubt thrives on worrying about uncontrollable outcomes. It feeds on what-ifs and hypothetical scenarios. But when you redirect all that energy into what you can actually control, your preparation, your effort, your integrity, there's no space left for doubt to breathe. Back to that presentation where the projector died. You know what I did? I threw away the script. I spoke from the heart about what I knew. No slides, no safety net, just me, my knowledge, and my genuine desire to help the people in that room. It was the best presentation I'd ever given. Not because everything went perfectly, but because I finally focused on the only thing I could control, showing up fully as myself. But focusing on what you can control is just the beginning. Because once you master that, you need to completely change how you view the obstacles in your path. And that's where lesson 2 comes in. And trust me, this one is going to flip everything you think you know about challenges. Lesson number 2. Reframe challenges as opportunities. Now, I can already hear some of you groaning. Oh great, another turn your problems into blessings speech. But stick with me, because what the Stoics taught about this is radically different from the toxic positivity garbage you've heard before. 2 years ago, I got fired. Not laid off. Fired. And it wasn't some corporate restructuring where everyone got a nice severance package. I made a mistake, a big one, and I paid the price. I remember sitting in my car in the parking lot, hands shaking, feeling like the biggest failure on the planet. My self-doubt didn't just whisper, it screamed. See? You're not good enough. You never were. Everyone's gonna know you failed. I spent 3 days in that mental prison, and then I read something that Marcus Aurelius wrote that stopped me cold. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Think about that. The obstacle itself becomes the path forward. But here's what he wasn't saying, and this is crucial. He wasn't saying everything happens for a reason, or just look on the bright side. The Stoics were not delusional optimists. They were realists who understood something profound. Challenges don't have inherent meaning. You give them meaning. Here's the twist that most people miss. Your self-doubt actually gets worse when things are going well. I know that sounds backwards, but think about it. When you're comfortable, when things are easy, that voice in your head has nothing to do but create fictional problems. What if I lose this? What if I'm not really that good? What if I'm just lucky? But when you face a real challenge, when you're actually in the arena, dealing with a genuine obstacle, that's when you get to prove to yourself what you're actually made of. Imagine you're learning to lift weights. You walk into the gym and you have 2 choices. Pick up the 5-pound dumbbells that feel comfortable, or pick up the weight that actually challenges you. The comfortable weight doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't build muscle. It doesn't change you. The heavy weight, the one that makes you struggle, that pushes you to your limit, that's what transforms you. Every single person who's ever built real confidence has done it the same way, through challenges they initially doubted they could overcome. Here's how to actually apply this. First, the next time you face a challenge that triggers self-doubt, physically stop and ask yourself, what skill is this obstacle forcing me to develop? Got rejected? You're being forced to develop resilience. Made a mistake? You're being forced to develop wisdom. Facing criticism? You're being forced to develop emotional strength. Second, keep what I call an obstacle journal. Every time you face a challenge, write down 3 things. What is this obstacle? What skill or strength could this develop in me? Who would I become if I overcame this? Back to getting fired. Once I stopped seeing it as proof of my inadequacy and started seeing it as information, everything changed. That mistake taught me more about my field than 3 years of smooth sailing ever had. It forced me to rebuild from scratch, which meant I got to rebuild better. It humbled me in ways that made me a better leader, a better colleague, a better person. And here's the thing, I would have never chosen that path. Never. If you'd asked me before it happened, hey, want to get fired and struggle for 6 months, I would have said absolutely not. But that obstacle became my path to something better than I'd had before. The Stoics believed that a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor, and they were right. You don't build confidence by avoiding challenges. You build it by discovering that you can handle more than you thought you could. Every challenge you face is either going to reveal your strength or build new strength. Either way, you win. Your self-doubt tells you that challenges are evidence you're not good enough. But the truth, challenges are the only way to become good enough. They're not blocking your path to confidence. They are the path to confidence. But here's where it gets really interesting, because the Stoics didn't just wait for challenges to come to them. They actively sought out discomfort. And that brings us to lesson 3. And I'm warning you right now, this one is going to make you uncomfortable. That's the point. Lesson number 3, practice voluntary discomfort. All right, this is where the Stoics separate themselves from every other philosophy. And this is where most people think the Stoics were crazy. But I'm telling you, this lesson alone has done more for my confidence than anything else I've ever tried. The Stoics would deliberately make themselves uncomfortable. Seneca, one of the richest men in Rome, would sleep on a hard floor and eat plain bread. Marcus Aurelius would practice going without luxuries he could easily afford. Epictetus taught his students to invite insults and embarrassment. And before you think, yeah, well, they were ancient weirdos, let me tell you why this works. A year ago, I had a panic attack before a simple Zoom meeting, not a high-stakes presentation, just a regular team meeting. And I realized something terrifying. I'd become so afraid of discomfort that even minor stress was crippling me. I was trapped in this bubble where I avoided anything that might make me feel awkward, anxious, or incompetent. No difficult conversations, no risky decisions, no putting myself out there. And you know what that bubble did? It made my self-doubt massive, because I had zero evidence that I could handle uncomfortable situations. Here's what the Stoics understood. Fear grows in the absence of exposure. When you avoid discomfort, you're not protecting yourself. You're training your brain that you can't handle discomfort. Every time you avoid that difficult conversation, skip that workout, stay in your comfort zone, you're sending yourself a message. I'm too weak for this. And self-doubt feeds on that message like fuel on a fire. The Stoics practiced what they called voluntary hardship, or premeditatio malorum, deliberately experiencing discomfort to build resilience. Not because they were masochists, but because they understood a fundamental truth. You can't be confident in your ability to handle challenges if you've never practiced handling challenges. But here's the twist that changes everything. You don't have to wait for life to throw challenges at you. You can create them yourself. Controlled, manageable, strategic. Think about vaccines. How do they work? They expose you to a small, controlled dose of a virus so your body learns to fight it. When the real virus comes, you're ready. That's exactly what voluntary discomfort does for your confidence. Imagine you're terrified of public speaking. Your self-doubt says, you'll freeze up. Everyone will judge you. You'll humiliate yourself. Option 1. Avoid public speaking forever. Let that fear grow bigger and bigger until even speaking up in a small meeting feels impossible. Option 2. Start small. Speak up once in a meeting this week. Join a Toastmasters group. Make a short video for social media. Each small exposure teaches your brain, oh, I can do this. I survived. Which person do you think builds genuine confidence? Here's exactly how to practice voluntary discomfort. First, identify your comfort zone boundaries. What small things do you avoid because they make you uncomfortable? Public speaking, cold calling, working out, posting on social media, having difficult conversations. Second, create a discomfort practice for this week. Choose one small thing that scares you, not something traumatic, just something that makes you nervous, and do it deliberately. Some practical examples. If you're afraid of looking stupid, ask a dumb question in a meeting this week. If you're afraid of rejection, reach out to someone you admire and ask for advice. If you're afraid of physical discomfort, take a cold shower every morning for 7 days. If you're afraid of judgment, post something authentic on social media. No filters, no perfect image. If you avoid conflict, have that difficult conversation you've been postponing. Third, and this is crucial, document what happens. Your self-doubt predicts catastrophe. Reality is almost always less severe. Write down, what did I fear would happen? What actually happened? What did I learn about my capabilities? After that panic attack over a Zoom meeting, I made a decision. Every single day, I would do one thing that made me uncomfortable. Day 1, I posted a video of myself online. No script, no editing, just raw, unpolished me talking about something I cared about. My hands were shaking when I hit post. You know what happened? Absolutely nothing catastrophic. A few people watched it, some liked it, some didn't. The world kept spinning. Day 7, I had a difficult conversation I'd been avoiding for months. My heart was pounding, but I did it. Day 30, I realized something incredible. I wasn't less anxious, but I was more confident in my ability to handle the anxiety. That's the key difference. Voluntary discomfort doesn't make you fearless. It makes you fear resilient. The Stoics taught that comfort is the enemy of growth. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're choosing self-doubt over confidence. Because deep down, you know when you're playing it safe. You know when you're hiding. And that knowledge, that you're living smaller than you're capable of, that's where self-doubt really lives. 6 months into my daily discomfort practice, someone asked me how I became so confident. And I realized I hadn't become confident that nothing bad would happen. I'd become confident that I could handle it when bad things happened. That's real confidence. Not the absence of fear, but the presence of proven capability. Now, practicing discomfort is powerful. But while you're doing it, there's going to be a voice in your head fighting you every step of the way. That critical inner voice that says, you can't, you shouldn't, you're not ready. And that's exactly what Lesson 4 addresses. How to silence that inner critic once and for all. Lesson 4. Silence the inner critic with reason. Lesson number 4. Silence the inner critic with reason. Now, here's something nobody talks about. That voice in your head that fills you with self-doubt. It's not actually trying to hurt you, and that changes everything. Last month I was about to launch a new project I'd been working on for 6 months. The night before the launch I couldn't sleep, and the voice started. Nobody's going to care about this. You've wasted 6 months. People are going to think you're a fraud. You're not qualified to do this. Remember that time you failed before? This is going to be worse. On and on and on, relentless. And here's what I used to do. I'd try to argue with it. No, I am qualified. People will care. Or I'd try to drown it out with positive affirmations. I am confident. I am capable. None of it worked because I was fighting the symptom, not the cause. Marcus Aurelius wrote something brilliant in his Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. But here's what he meant that most people miss. Your inner critic isn't some evil entity. It's your brain trying to protect you from pain, embarrassment, and failure. It's trying to keep you safe. The problem? It's using outdated information. Think about it. That voice developed when you were young, when criticism actually was dangerous, when disappointing your parents or being rejected by your peers felt like life or death. Your brain built this protection mechanism. But you're not that child anymore. The stakes have changed. Yet your inner critic is still operating like you're in 3rd grade, about to give a book report. Here's the game changer. You don't silence the inner critic by fighting it. You silence it by cross-examining it like a lawyer. The Stoics were masters of this. They called it examining impressions or testing representations. Basically, don't accept your thoughts as facts. Interrogate them. Your inner critic is making claims about reality. Well, demand evidence. Let's say your inner critic tells you, you're going to embarrass yourself if you try this. Most people either believe it, yeah, you're right, I better not, or fight it, no, I won't. The Stoic approach? Cross-examine it. Question 1, is this absolutely true, or is it a prediction? Answer, it's a prediction. The future hasn't happened yet. Question 2, what evidence do I have that this will happen? Answer, well, I feel nervous, but feeling nervous isn't evidence of future embarrassment. Question 3, what's the actual worst-case scenario, realistically? Answer, someone might not like what I do. I might feel uncomfortable for a bit. Life goes on. Question 4, have I survived similar situations before? Answer, yes. Multiple times. Question 5, is this thought helping me or hurting me? It's keeping me stuck. See what just happened? It's you. You didn't fight the thought. You didn't suppress it. You examined it with reason, and it fell apart under scrutiny. Here's your exact step-by-step process for the next time your inner critic attacks. Step 1. Pause and identify the specific thought. Don't let it be a vague feeling of dread. Pin it down. Write it out if you need to. I think that. Step 2. Ask the Stoic questions. Is this a fact or an interpretation? What evidence supports this thought? What evidence contradicts it? What would I tell a friend who had this thought? Is this thought useful for my goals? Step 3. Replace the irrational thought with a rational one. Not a positive affirmation, a rational reframe based on evidence. For example, inner critic, you're gonna fail and everyone will judge you. Rational reframe. I might not succeed on the first try, and some people might have opinions. That's normal. I can learn from whatever happens. Back to my project launch. Instead of fighting that voice or believing it, I grabbed my journal and wrote down every fear it was throwing at me. Then I went through each one with the Stoic questions. Nobody's going to care about this. Evidence? None. Actually, I'd already gotten interest from several people during development. You're a fraud. Evidence? I've spent years studying this. I've helped people with it. Frauds don't put in that kind of work. Remember that time you failed? Yes, I remember. I also remember what I learned from it and how it made me better prepared now. By the time I finished, that overwhelming panic had transformed into something manageable. Not gone, but manageable. And you know what? The launch went fine. Not perfect, but fine. Some people loved it. Some people didn't care. The world didn't end. Here's what the Stoics knew that modern psychology is only now confirming. You can't control your first thought, but you can control your second thought. That initial burst of self-doubt, that's automatic. That's your brain's security system activating. But what you think about that thought, that's where your power lives. Epictetus said, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. Your inner critic makes a claim. You don't have to accept it. You can examine it, challenge it, and replace it with something based on reality instead of fear. After months of practicing this, something remarkable happened. My inner critic is still there. It hasn't vanished. But now when it speaks up, I almost smile. Because I know it's just trying to protect me with outdated strategies. And I know I have the tools to evaluate whether what it's saying is actually true or just ancient programming running on autopilot. That shift from being controlled by the voice to calmly examining it, that's where real confidence lives. But here's the thing. You can master all 4 of these lessons, and there's still one trap that will destroy your confidence faster than anything else. It's the trap that keeps more people stuck in self-doubt than any other. And that's what lesson 5 is all about. And honestly, this might be the most important lesson of all. Lesson number 5, act with virtue, not validation. This is it. This is the lesson that if you truly internalize it, will make you completely immune to self-doubt. And I mean that literally. Here's the uncomfortable truth. As long as you're seeking validation from others, you will always doubt yourself. Always. There is no amount of praise, no number of likes, no level of success that will ever be enough. And I know this because I spent years trapped in that prison. 3 years ago, I got the validation I'd been chasing my entire life. A major publication featured my work. Thousands of people praised it. My inbox flooded with messages telling me how amazing I was. I should have felt on top of the world, right? I felt empty. Because within 48 hours, that validation had faded, and I was already wondering, what's next? What do I need to do to feel this way again? What if people forget about me? What if the next thing I do isn't as good? The self-doubt wasn't gone. It had just evolved into a new form, the fear of losing validation. And that's when I finally understood what the Stoics had been trying to tell me all along. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is your art? To be good, not to be praised, not to be recognized, not to be validated, to be good." The Stoics had a radical idea. Your worth isn't determined by external validation. It's determined by whether you're living according to your values, what they called virtue. And virtue in Stoic terms meant 4 things: wisdom, seeing things clearly; justice, treating people fairly; courage, doing what's right even when it's hard; temperance, having self-control and balance. Here's the revolutionary part. These are the only things entirely within your control. You can't control whether people praise you, but you can control whether you act with integrity. You can't control outcomes, but you can control your effort and character. And here's the twist that breaks the self-doubt cycle forever. When you act for validation, you're giving other people control over your self-worth. Every time someone criticizes you, your confidence drops. Every time someone praises you, it rises. You're on an emotional roller coaster you can't control. But when you act according to your values, when you do what you believe is right regardless of the response, something incredible happens. Other people's opinions become irrelevant data points, not verdicts on your worth. Think about that. Not, I don't care what people think in some defensive, fragile way, but genuinely, I know I acted with integrity, so external opinions don't define me. Imagine 2 people who both get criticized harshly. Person A was seeking validation. They did something hoping people would praise them. When criticism comes instead, they're devastated. I knew I wasn't good enough. I knew I'd fail. What was I thinking? Person B was acting according to their values. They did something because they believed it was right, knowing some people might not like it. When criticism comes, they think, did I act with integrity? Yes. Did I do my best? Yes. Then I'm at peace. Same criticism, completely different impact. Here's how to make this shift. First, identify your core values. Not what you think you should value. Not what others want you to value. What you actually value. Sit down right now and write down 3 to 5 principles that matter most to you. Examples: honesty, growth, kindness, creativity, courage, family, contribution. Second, before you act on anything, especially things that trigger self-doubt, ask yourself, am I doing this for validation or because it aligns with my values? Posting on social media. Are you seeking likes or sharing something meaningful? Starting a business. Are you chasing status or solving a real problem? having a difficult conversation? Are you seeking approval or acting with honesty? Third, create what I call a virtue scorecard. At the end of each day, don't ask yourself, did people validate me today? Ask yourself, did I act with wisdom today? Did I treat people fairly? Did I do what was right even when it was hard? Did I maintain self-control? If you can answer yes, the day was a success, regardless of external outcomes. After that hollow validation experience, I made a decision. I would create a set of personal standards based on my values, and I would measure myself only against those standards. My standards became: create content that genuinely helps people, even if it's not popular. Be honest about my struggles, even if it makes me look imperfect. Show up consistently, regardless of the response. Treat everyone with respect, even critics. Keep learning and improving, not for recognition, but for growth. And then something beautiful happened. I published things that barely anyone noticed, and I felt good about them because they aligned with my values. I got criticized harshly for other things, and while it stung, it didn't shatter me because I knew I'd acted with integrity. I stopped checking metrics obsessively, not because I didn't care about reaching people, but because I wasn't deriving my self-worth from the numbers. For the first time in my life, my confidence became stable. Not perfect, not unshakable in every moment, but stable, based on something I could actually control. The Stoics understood something profound. True confidence comes from self-respect, not from others' respect. And you can't respect yourself if you're constantly betraying your values for validation. Every time you say what people want to hear instead of what you believe, every time you chase trends instead of meaning, every time you hide who you are to avoid criticism, you lose a little self-respect, and self-doubt rushes in to fill that space. But when you act with virtue, when you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I did what I believed was right, that's armor self-doubt can't penetrate. Think about the people you most admire. Not the most popular people, but the people you genuinely respect. Are they the ones who say whatever gets them likes? Or are they the ones who stand by their principles even when it's unpopular? Are they the ones desperately seeking approval? Or are they the ones who seem grounded in something deeper? You already know the answer. And you already know which kind of person builds real confidence. Here's what changed everything for me. I realized that seeking validation was making me weak, and living by values was making me strong. Every time I acted for applause, I gave my power away. Every time I acted according to my principles, I took my power back. Now when self-doubt whispers, but what will they think? I have an answer. I don't know, and it doesn't determine my worth. I know what I stand for. I know I acted with integrity. That's enough. And that is what unshakable confidence actually looks like. So there you have it. 5 Stoic lessons that can completely transform your relationship with self-doubt. So let's bring this all together. You now have 5 Stoic lessons that have been battle-tested for over 2,000 years. 1. Focus only on what you can control. Stop wasting energy on outcomes and opinions you can't influence. 2. Reframe challenges as opportunities. Every obstacle is either revealing your strength or building new strength. 3. Practice voluntary discomfort. You can't be confident in your ability to handle challenges if you never practice handling challenges. 4. Silence the inner critic with reason. Cross-examine your self-doubt like a lawyer instead of accepting it as truth. 5. Act with virtue, not validation. Build confidence on the foundation of self-respect, not others' approval. Here's what nobody tells you about self-doubt. It never completely disappears. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, still struggled with it. Seneca, one of history's greatest philosophers, still wrestled with it. But here's what they discovered, and what you now know. Self-doubt doesn't have to control you. When you focus on what you can control, Reframe obstacles as growth opportunities. Practice facing discomfort. Question your inner critic with reason, and act according to your values instead of chasing validation. Self-doubt transforms from a prison into background noise. It might still show up, but it no longer gets to drive the car. So here's what I want you to do right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Choose one of these 5 lessons, just one, and commit to practicing it for the next 7 days. Maybe you'll do a control audit every morning for a week. Maybe you'll choose one voluntary discomfort to practice daily. Maybe you'll cross-examine your inner critic using the Stoic questions every time it speaks up. Maybe you'll define your core values and measure yourself against them instead of against external validation. Just pick one. Because here's the truth. Knowing this information changes nothing. Applying it changes everything. The Stoics weren't philosophers who sat around theorizing. They were practitioners who lived these principles in the arena of real life. Marcus Aurelius applied them while leading an empire. Epictetus applied them while surviving slavery. Seneca applied them through exile and loss. And you can apply them right now, wherever you are, whatever you're facing. Your self-doubt has been running your life for long enough. It's convinced you to play small, stay quiet, wait until you're ready, avoid risks, seek permission, chase validation. But you're not that person anymore. Or maybe you never were, and you're just now realizing it. The confident version of you isn't someone you need to become. It's who you are when you stop letting self-doubt make your decisions. If this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe to Stoic Pathway. We're building a community of people who are done with surface-level self-help and ready for philosophy that actually works. Every week, we break down ancient Stoic wisdom into practical strategies you can use immediately. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 5 lessons resonated most with you? And what's the one thing you're going to practice this week? Remember what Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That power has been yours all along. It's time to use it. Thanks for watching. Now, go prove to yourself what you're capable of. I'll see you in the next video.